Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilyn and my channel's Making with Marilyn. Now I do all things crafty, but on today's video I'm going to be unboxing something that was sent to me. So a company named OFFNOVA contacted me recently to see if I'd be interested in trying out their coffee cup press. And of course I was, and so that's what today's video is all about. So if you're interested in seeing how this works out, keep watching the video. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. I'm just lifting everything straight out of the box, and so there's just packing on top. And then here's what the box looks like. So I know it comes in at least yellow, blue, and orange. Let's see what we have. All right, so right on top there's some little designs, probably nothing that I would actually use, but there are some designs in there. Oh, and look here. Now that's exciting. So it's some sublimation ink markers, kind of like the infusible ink markers, I assume. And then a little instruction book. All right, looks like the cord's in the bottom of the box. Let me go ahead and pull that out. All right, so here's my cord. And then I got the yellow one. That is so pretty. And then there's actually a coffee cup in there. All right, so I'm going to flip that down. It loosened up the coffee mug, and I can take it out. All right, that looks pretty simple. All right, so it says there's the power button, and then when it's warming up, that should be red. Once it's ready to put the mug in, that should be green. And then it said, this is a progress LCD. You get real-time temperature and countdown timer. Okay, that'll be nice. So I'm supposed to cut out a design, which again, I'm not going to use these designs. I'm going to make my own. Wrap it around the mug, insert the mug when the press is ready, and then you just wait for it to beep and unlock it. I think I have that down. Also, it says the machine will turn off automatically after 3 months of inactivity, which is really a nice safety feature. If you forget to turn something off and it has the auto off, I just think that's a great safety feature. All right, so easy enough. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and plug this in, let it heat up, make sure I understand how that works. And in the meantime, I'm going to look for a cute design or two to use. So the plug-in is right back here. And then it came with plastic on these prongs, so I just need to take that off. Ready to plug in. Now I'm really curious to see how hot the bottom of this will be, if you can just safely use it on a table or if you need to have something under it. Now I have never used the Cricut mug press, but one thing that catches my eye is this hole looks extremely deep. Okay, it's definitely taller than half of the tumbler. Now, it's not tight enough around the tumbler. So if you were going to try to use this with tumblers and things like that, you'd have to use the same hacks that you use with the Cricut mug presses and other mug presses. So if you really want a tumbler press, this probably isn't what I would buy. I'd buy something meant to actually press tumblers. But if you love to press coffee cups, this might be a good option. We're getting ready to see. But when I put this cup down in there, there's at least an inch at the top of extra space. So it looks like you could do some decently tall mugs in this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and press it on now. Okay, that didn't work. Maybe I have to hold it down for a couple seconds. That's it. You just need to hold it down until it comes on. Now, I don't know what this is heating up to, but I'm going to keep track of how long it takes. Okay, so it just beeped and it's up to 340, and that took less than 3 minutes. Now there's a 40-second showing. Now my guess is once I put the tumbler in and I press this, I assume that once it gets back up to temp, that 40 will start counting down, but I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off, get my images printed, and then we're actually going to make a cup. All right, we're going to go ahead and let that heat back up, and I printed a couple designs. This one says coffee before talkie, and this one says but first coffee. And then I'm going to put the name Ashley on the back of this one and the name Jane on the back of this one. Now this is the coffee cup that came with the press, and then I marked this one with a piece of heat tape. This is one that I got at Michael's, and it's a Michael's brand cup. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tape these on, and then before I put them in the press, I'll put a piece of computer paper around them just to protect the inside of the heat press. Now, I don't remember if I told you this or not, but before I started putting these designs on here, I did use my rubbing alcohol. I sprayed it on, and then I dried it off with a paper towel. And then, of course, let it dry all the way before you put the paper down. All right, I heard the press, so it's ready to go, and I'm just about ready to go, so that's pretty good timing. Now, I think my name's off. Let me go ahead and straighten that up. Plus, I don't want to get anything too close to the handle. I'm afraid it wouldn't sublimate as well. All right, I think that looks just a little bit better. All right, let's go ahead and move this up just a little bit better into view. Also, I never did check the bottom. Okay, the bottom is perfectly fine. You can use this on a table, no worries. Okay, so I'm just going to slide this down in. There we go. User error. All right, so it closed up. It flashed for just a little bit. Now the time's going, or now the temperature's going down to 310, 305. Let's just see what happens. All right, so I see the temperature's climbing again. I assume that when it gets back to the original temperature, then the time will start counting down, but I really don't know. Okay, so when this hit 340, the time started counting down. Now, I didn't really pay attention to how long it was in there before that happened, so on my next tumbler, I'll look to see about how long that took. All right, we're going to leave that sitting there while I do the second coffee mug. All right, I went ahead and taped that extra paper down, hoping that would help. Okay, so it took about 2 minutes, 57 seconds before it was back up to temp and before it started counting down. Now to turn it off, you press the power button and hold it down until it goes off, the same way you turn it on. All right, so this is the one we did first. We just did this one. The one we did first is still really hot, but I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get the paper off so we can see how I did. Oh, that is vibrant. That is very, very pretty. And then I really didn't have the name Jane placed very well. Well, that's not too bad, but it turned out gorgeous. Ooh, that's hot. Now it says to wait till these cool down completely before you take your paper off. I think that's more of a safety thing. For sublimation, it should have been sublimated by now. All right, so this one has the tape on it. So this is the Michaels tumbler. Now again, the handle is not hot. Now if you use a little pick, be careful that you don't scratch your coating. I'm just getting between the paper and the tape. And the word Ashley came out gorgeous. And then that side came out beautiful as well. This did a fantastic job. All right, let's go ahead and take a close look at these. I want you to see them up close and personal. So here's the one, Coffee Before Talkie. And I have the name Jane on the back. Everything turned out beautiful. Then the other one says, but first coffee, and then the name Ashley is on the back. So I made the words Ashley and Jane out of the homework font. And then I got the designs for these off of Creative Fabrica. So if you're interested in that, I'll put a link to that in the video description. But this worked beautifully on these mugs. Now, if you're considering getting one, be sure to do your research. You want to make sure that the size of mug that you plan to use fits down in there. Now again, like I showed you at the beginning, there is a lot of extra room at the top of this. So if your mugs are taller, that is not a problem. But if your mugs are fatter around, they may not fit. So again, if you have questions, reach out to this company. Ask them questions, but I'll put a link to this in the video description just in case you're interested. Thanks so much for joining me, and until my next video, bye-bye.